I look like I'm part of the couch. Hello! Today we're gonna speak about how you can own less stuff without actually being extreme minimalist. I used to be such a hoarder. I was hoarding, I was constantly buying something because I felt so empty inside. So I felt like if I'm gonna own things that are nice, that look good, that I'm gonna feel good as well inside, but it never helped. And then all of a sudden I needed to move to a different country and I needed to put my whole life in one van. And that's exactly when I started to declutter, when I started to find out more information about this whole own less thing, when I started researching minimalism for the first time, and that's where it just all started. After all the decluttering, I moved to a different country, but because I am extreme personality and everything has to be a 0 or 100, I started going into the brutally minimalism where I wanted to own like 50 things. However, it was not quite fitting who I am. Don't get me wrong, I understand that some people find it brilliant, find it liberating, and they really enjoy owning just 50 things. But the extreme minimalism just was not for me. And if you're watching this video, then I'm gonna tell you exactly how to own less stuff without actually being extreme minimalist. And it's pretty much possible. And it's something that I practice for over 3 years now. And it works, and I'm very happy with how I own stuff, how much I own, how much I buy. Let's get into it. So firstly, we're gonna go over mindful consumption and intentional shopping. Obviously, if you own something, most likely you had to buy it. So now it's very important that when you are buying something, you consider if it's gonna be useful, if you really like it that much, if you don't have like too many items of the same thing, if you're gonna be buying 6, 7 dress of the same color, do you really need it? Are you gonna wear it? Do you wear what you already have in your closet? It's about considering whether the thing is gonna add some more joy into your life and whether you already could not use what you already have. The second thing I would like to mention is to buy things based off real life. And I have a story here. I used to dream about being super skinny, and I bought those jeans that were in a size that I was not even remotely close to. And that was like the dream item that I had, and I was just trying to like diet to fit into the jeans. And sometimes some people can have it like that, and they really can have this item of clothing that they want to fit. But for me, it was more for like a purpose of shaming myself. It was not inspirational at all. It was just laying there, taking up space, and I could not use it. It was just another item that was just collecting dust. So buy for your real life, for your real lifestyle, not for what you want to be. Just buy for who you are. If you want to buy something, keep a wish list. Keep a wish list of things that you would really like, because sometimes you're gonna find out that after some month you're gonna be like, I actually don't want this item that much. And I think that this is also a brilliant thing with kids. I don't have kids, but I saw it somewhere, and I think it's super good that when they want some toy, you put it on the wish list, and then kind of at the end of the year when it's Christmas, you go over it with the child and they say like, yeah, I still like this and this and this. I don't know if it's gonna work in practical life, but you know, you can do it for yourself as well. If you like something, put it on the wish list and then kind of evaluate if you still like it, if you don't, so you avoid the impulsive purchase thing. Number 4, find your uniform. And this sounds like clothing, but you can apply it to whatever you have in your life. You are probably using just a few % of what you actually own. About 20% of clothing, you keep wearing the same items, and the rest is kind of like laying around, and every single now and then you put it on, but you keep repeating the same pieces over and over and over, or you keep using the same makeup over and over, or the same cup, the same plate, whatever it is. You keep using the items that you really enjoy. What do they have in common? If you want to buy something more, Is it falling into the category of items that you already love using? And if not, then it would be probably just another item that would be just laying around, let's be honest. It's also very useful and insightful to learn your style. I learned a lot of things about my clothing style. I know that I liked flowy clothing, I like long dresses. I very enjoy wearing autumn color palette, which is actually something that matches me. And now not every single piece of clothing I own is from that palette, but I know kind of what to go for, and then I feel good in those colors and in those clothing. Or you know, if you again some kind of mug and you would like to buy it, is it your style? Is it something that you enjoy? Is it your aesthetic? Before buying something new, go through the inventory. Do you already own something that could serve the same purpose? Do you really need to buy that additional item? Go through your inventory and evaluate if additional item is really necessary or if you can use what you already have so you don't have to buy more. Now, how do you get rid of stuff? Decluttering. I really enjoy decluttering. And I also enjoy those like cleaning shows when they go in and they declutter everything and then the people are like, whoa, we actually have space. I love those. It's like my guilty pleasure. But when it comes to decluttering, definitely Marie Kondo, her book, Netflix series, she is such a sweet woman. And she is actually the person that I started the decluttering journey with. So I really recommend. Make decluttering your habit. Declutter every single beginning of the season, every single 2 months. I think that decluttering monthly is a little bit excessive. However, if you own a bigger space, I live in quite a small space, so it's pretty much possible to do decluttering of the whole place in like 3 days. And for me, it's also a very repetitive habit, so I don't really have that many things to declutter. But if you are starting off for the first time, it can be very overwhelming. You can have a lot of stuff and 3 days are simply not enough, and then like repeating it every single 2 months, like decluttering for a week, you would not be doing anything else. So decide what is optimal for you, how often do you want to declutter, and make it your habit. Don't get yourself attached to things that are no longer serving you, because then you have so many things. And also, when you have a lot of things, you have to clean more. When you own less, it's much easier to clean, and you're gonna spend much less time cleaning every single week, every single day. So when it comes to decluttering, I would go for Marie Kondo's advice. Keep what sparks joy and put away what does not. So if it makes you joyful, if it's something that you enjoy, if it's something that's useful, if it's something that you're using on a very regular basis, keep it. If it doesn't spark any joy, any happiness, it's not useful, just put it away. This, avoid backup clutter. Avoid the items, I might use it when this and this happen. Maybe I am gonna need it. Or creative people, I know this hurts because you see an item and you see potential. I could do this and that with this item. If you have this a lot, and if you have so many items that you are like, yeah, I could do this and this artistic project with, dedicate a box for those items that you can use for your creative project. Because are you really using items for your creative projects? Or are they just like laying around and it's sort of your excuse to just keep the items and not throw them away? Sometimes I'm not quite sure if I want to keep the item or not. And I know that usually the advice is just to get rid of it if you're not quite sure. However, I kind of don't like this brutal approach. Obviously, you should not like hesitate about everything and then just keep everything. So here I do a maybe bag. I have a bag, and when I declutter the things that I'm not quite sure about, I put into the bag and then I hide the bag away. I put it away so I don't see it, I don't remember it exists. And after some times when I declutter again, I find a bag because I'm decluttering and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the bag. And if you did not remember that the bag exists, and if you did not remember any item from the bag, then you don't need it. Simple as that. When it comes to mindset and attachment, the first thing I would like to mention here is to keep items that spark joy or they serve purpose. And the very important thing here is, and I see it a lot on social media, is when you are getting rid of stuff, don't get rid of stuff just for sake of getting rid of stuff. I see those videos where people decide that they're gonna own less and they just take fully functioning, a lot of times makeup, I see the videos about makeup, and they just pour everything into the bin. They buy it and they put like 40 different items into the bin. In this case, it's great to own less, but it's very nice to use what you actually bought for the sake of nature, for your money. You don't have to own less just to own less. It's for you to consume less in the future. It's for you to have clearer mind, to have nicer environment. But just because you decided that you're gonna own less, you don't have to throw away everything, even fully functioning things, just because you want to own less in the moment. Things that were gifts or they were expensive, you don't want to throw them out because it was a gift, and I get it, you know, you don't want to make the other person unhappy or sad, and when it was expensive you feel like you invested a lot of money into it, then in that case, if it was expensive, I would say that you can try to sell it. If it's a piece of clothing, you can sell it on Vinted, you can sell it on Facebook Marketplace, you can donate it so someone else can use it, you can find a second hand that actually takes the more unique stuff and they sell it, and maybe you're gonna get some kind of provision. If it was a gift, if it's not matching who you are, if you're not using it, donate it. It's gonna make someone else more happy than you. Someone else will pick it in the donation center and they're gonna be happy about the item. You are not, so why keeping it? And limiting sentimental items. This is a whole chapter in decluttering in Marie Kondo's books and then also the Netflix series, because getting rid of sentimental items can be so difficult. But again, as with the creative projects, like I might use it, I would dedicate one box to the whole sentimental item thing, because it's nice to have memories. I would definitely recommend for this to create photo books. You can create your own photo book and it's just such a beautiful thing. Like my mom creates them and it's just so nice, because then you have one book and you can go through all the memories, and that's beautiful. So maybe if you have some items, you can take a photo of them and then make like nice stickers out of them in the photo book and keep the memory of them. But if you're gonna be just hoarding and hoarding sentimental items, then you're living in the past. You don't really live in the present moment, and that's a pity. And the last thing I want to mention is visual clutter. If you have a lot of items around, if the place around you seems cluttered, your brain gets overwhelmed from it. Someone is more sensitive, just like me. I hate when the clutter is around me and I can see it. I need very clean space. Someone doesn't mind that much, and that's completely okay. But if you're gonna keep the places around you very nice and tidy and not cluttered, that's gonna serve your mental health. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like or follow, whatever you like, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!